everyone. So, yes, my name is Max. I'm French. I'm a French independent pen tester, trainer, and sysadmin. And I'm going to talk about maybe something that you already know, or maybe something that you don't know, is internationalized domain names, mainly how they work, what's the problem they're trying to solve, and how can it be possibly badly used by bad actors or by maybe red team people to achieve great things, right? So let's get started. So a little disclaimer to start. Don't have the dumbs like me. We'll see, I've done something really stupid because the French authorities are not very to be played with. We'll talk about this later. What will be presented here may be considered illegal in some countries because it's in the same family, we'll talk about it, same family as typo squatting. So it might be a problem and it might send you to jail, so be careful. And this is not a point-on-chain presentation because everyone is vulnerable. Yes, that's a problem. And the goal here is to talk to you people, the good people, the IT people, that we have to talk about this issue because I think in a few years it would be a shit show. So what are we going to talk about? I think I will go quickly in quick introduction to domain names because I think everyone knows the basics of domain names and will not need much more than that. We talk about IDNs and Punycode. We're going to play a game as well. Nothing to win, but maybe a small bottle of Rakia if you're very nice. We'll talk about attacks in the wild, so some historical examples, and my dumb, stupid IDN homograph attacks. And I'm going to demo one of them. And then we'll talk about how to protect ourselves because, well, yeah, it would be great. So, domain names. Domain names is very, very old. And in fact, the syntax of domain names, which is A to Z, 0 to 9, and the minus, is really old. It's dating back to ARPANET and hosts.txt file shared via FTP, host names online, RFC, I don't remember the number, from the 80s. Early 80s. So the DNS goal is to mentally translate domain names into IP addresses or configuration, texts, etc. So these are called records, organized as a tree-based search and consultation, so it's easy to find. So always read right to left, and this is something that many people don't understand, is com, best Rakia, 3W. We'll talk about best Rakia later. There is a Rakia theme in my slides today, so hopefully you will find it interesting. So all this, because it's using old RFCs and old norms for naming machines, are all ASCII characters. And maybe you see where I'm going with this. 3 people that are important in the DNS world is the registry, the company foundation administration governing the TLD, the extension of the domain name, if you will. The registrar, which is the company where end users can register domain names. It's as the first asked, first serve basis, so be quick. It's a registry proxy, and the registrant is yourself trying to register a domain name. So what are international domain names? We all know domain names, so what are they? In fact, they have been created because there is a problem. Not every language on the planet is using A to Z alphabet, ASCII alphabet. Yeah, strange, right? Yeah, for example, you know, Serbian people here should know that. So if only there was a universal way to encode all characters from all character sets from all languages in the world. Yes. And so they created what is called Punycode. Punycode is a way of encoding, they say exotic. I'm an exotic myself because French characters have accents as well. So let's call non-ASCII as exotic. A way to encode exotic characters without breaking the current way DNS is working. It's kind of a hack of the DNS, if you want. So international domain names look like this. You have the XXN --, then if there is an ASCII part, it will be here with a dash at the end of the ASCII part, and then the Punycode. So I've done some example here with, I was not inspired, so Aerodrom Nikola Tesla Beograd. You have the Unicode one, so the beautiful one, the please do the eyes, and the ASCII Punycoded one. So what's funny is the second one. If you can see, all the second one are all Cyrillic characters, except for the dashes. So you have XN dash dash, dash dash dash, dash because it's the end of the ASCII part, and then the Punycode. Punycode, I would not talk about the math behind Punycode, because it's state machine thing, I don't want to do maths, right? I'm not Reykjavik, last night was hard, so no maths today. But anyway, so this is a way to encode, and in fact, in this code that you have at the end, you have the position of the characters and the Unicode character that must be inserted in this place on the text. All right, so it's the same for emoji. If you remember from McLemon presentation, 2019, emojis can be combined as well, and this works as well. So in fact, if you remember, the pirate flag is in fact a dark flag plus a skull, yeah. And it works as well. In fact, you have both codes behind the XN dash dash. Oh, is everything all right for everybody right now? Okay, you understand at least a bit how it works? Okay, so does any TLD registry allows this kind of domains to be registered? Yes, VeriSign, the .com registry, allows many Unicode subcharsets, but you have to choose a main alphabet before, and then you will have a subset of Unicode that you will be able to choose from. There are many documents on VeriSign website. It's a pain in the ass to read, kinda, yeah. You have a link here, but it's kind of pain in the ass. I'm gonna take the example, because I'm French, of what the association, the foundation AFNIC, it's the registry for .fr, which is the CCTLD of my country. And we have some accented characters. So you have all characters allowed here. So then you may ask, why is the asset in the list the double S, drunk, double S from Germans and Autrichians as well? Why? Because of local languages. In fact, I'm from northeast of France, so in Lorraine, and the language and sometimes the local language, the Lorrain, picks some alphabet from the neighbor country and previous owner of the region, but that's another story. We're not gonna talk about it now. So yes, so how does it look in a browser? I don't know if you can see it well. No, it's a bit small. The other ones you'll see better. It looks fine. In your browser, you'll see a bit later, because I can't, yeah, the Steam Deck, I will not be able to zoom right. Or, come on, okay. But in fact, you'll see under the address bar, araxmorgas.jefferson.org. This is the domain name shown in the address bar, and beside it, xn --, you have the Punycode encoded label of the subdomain, right? Is that okay for you? You can see it in bold characters. Right. So it works in Chrome and Firefox, and in fact any browser today, because the norm is old now. IDNs is 2003 that was standardized, so it's a bit old now. So, does anybody notice a problem already? No? Yes? Yes? We'll see. We'll play a game, and we'll see if you have the problem. So let's play a game. So let's say that I have something maybe for you to learn, but I'm going to talk at the same time. Yeah, I'm going to show you two char types, right? And you will have to guess which char set it is from, left or right. You're right? Wait. And the price? Oh, no, I don't got it. The price is a Shataraki at the bar. I don't have the small butters anymore. So, one is Cyrillic, so from Unicode, and the other one is Latin, from ASCII. Which one is which? Can you guess? It's a dumb game, because there is no way on this one to know which one's which, right? No, there is no way. I don't know, yes, you can see it a bit, the Firefox screenshot as well. You can't see the difference at all. Right, so does anybody want to play? Unicode, left or right?
Left.
Left? Unicode left? No, ASCII left.
No, that's still Unicode.
Yes, but yeah, okay. Yeah, you want to play, you will not win. You will not win. You're excluded from the game, right? So yes, ASCII on the left and Cyrillic on the right. Okay, this one there is small clue. So one is Greek from Unicode, and the other one is ASCII Latin classic one. Which one's which? So if you look closely, you'll see that the dots on the J and the borders of the J are not the same. One is straight and the other one is rounded. Which one's which? Is Greek on the left or on the right? Raise your hands if you think it's on the right, if Greek is on the right.
Can I say something?
Yeah?
I'm Greek and we don't have to Is that question?
Okay, so tell this to Microsoft Charm App, because that's where I get it from. Yeah, okay, I will send an email. I don't have the contacts, but I will send you an email. I will send them an email. So, from what I saw from Charm App, ASCII is on the left and Greek is on the right. So if people chose Greek on the right, you were on the good side. So this one is easy, you just have to focus. One is Latin extended and the other one is Latin ASCII standard. So on the is Latin extended on the left? Yeah. Or on the right? No, you have bad eyes. Ludovic, you have bad eyes. I have to tell you this. Yes, it's on the left because it's capital I with the dot and small I without the dot. So it's not standard. So yes, no, this one is easy, right? So this one is funny. So do you know what a diatric is? Diatric is like an accent. Accent is a subfamily of a diatric. It's something you combine with a standard letter, like C when you put the this under, or the reversed hat on the. Oh, I don't know how to say it in English. So reverse hat, you got it. Okay. So diatric is this, all right? Accents. So which one which? Is diatric on the left? No, on the right. Oh, all right. But there is a trick with this one, because if you think this one is dumb, you're not ready for what you're going to see. So yes, the diatric is on the right, and you have to combine it with another characters, like right here. And the problem is, at some point, it's kind of hard to look at the diatric if the letter is going far at the bottom of the line. So you can combine characters. Can you see now where I'm getting? So this one is easy. This is the last one. I don't help you. Do you know the differences? What are the two letters here? Yeah, the I and the L. Which one was which, by the way? Yes. Left is L. Why? It's longer and it's thinner. Yeah, of course. So I think, yeah, you got the problem, right? Is that we can visually maybe register other domain names that just look like the right one, but are not the right one. So these kind of attacks are called homograph attacks. And there are categories of typo squatting attacks, which is a generic term for cyber squatting and brandjacking domain names. So you can use bad spelling, plural instead of singular, different CC or TLDs. Homographic attacks. You also have combo squatting attacks. So combo squatting is quite easy to understand. I will register a website called applecustomerservice.com. You see, you add words at the end for people to believe it's the official. It's official in the name, so it should be official, right? Yeah. And the other one is the doppelganger domain. So let's say that you have a domain called freew.bestrakia.com. You will reserve freewbestrakia.com. You remove the dash, right? So it looks kind of the same, right? Okay. So, has this kind of attacks already happened in the wild? Yes, yes, it has happened. There was a demo from Chinese researchers, Deng, on 2017 with Apple.com. What you don't see here is that the A is Cyrillic A. And it was not the Apple website. It was a page explaining the attack and how to protect. So it was really funny, right? Microsoft is not helping as well with emails, for example. Somebody called Dobby-Wan Kenobi. We don't have all the choice on our pseudonyms. So in 2021, found out that the Outlook address book mismatches sometimes the email address if there is an accent. That is to say, if I am Jean Bon, I have the email jean.bon@mycompany.onmicrosoft.com. If I'm a pirate, I can register on microsoft.com with an accent on the I, and send an email to the right guy, and the Outlook address book will match with the real person, instead of saying it's not the same guy. Yes, it's Microsoft. What to expect, right? What about bad guys? Because, yeah, this is researcher stuff. What about bad guys? So, yeah, sometimes I'm in my hoodie as well, but not here. So maybe you heard about APWG, the Anti-Phishing Working Group. Yeah, it's a group of people working on statistics from phishing and how to protect ourselves. And in fact, there were not many IDN's homograph attacks from the past years. We can notice in 2015 the PayPal.com. Look at the round at the bottom. I don't know how to call it. I don't know. The round at the bottom of the A, right? So it's not PayPal, it's something else. Facebook with hats, yeah, right? And Airbnb with a small thing under the I.
Official term, right?
Yeah, official term, the small thing under the I, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not, in French we call it CD, but I don't know how to say it in English, so right, so not really used by bad actors, but there's still some that are used. Look at this, PayPal. No, it's not PayPal, it's PayPay. It's an I, capital I, it's PayPay. Since the mid-2000s, there is a Russian citizen called Birikov, working in network solutions, that has registered these domain names and is sending phishing very, very often. 2011, 2012, 2017, 2020. So this is a screenshot from Reddit. And you can see it looks like a PayPal email, but it's a PayPay email. PayPay is not the same customer service as PayPal, so maybe not a good idea. So what I'm gonna talk about right now is a French website, but French important for French people, French citizens, is the Medicare website, the official Medicare website for French people. It's called Assurance Maladie. And look again, it's not maladie, it's Mayadi. Because again, it's not an L, it's an I. And this one we found during a training session, an IT training session with the Assurance Maladie IT staff. And we triggered the cert alert during the training. It was funny. So when we saw it, there was many PHP phishing pages, and the attacker forgot to remove the auto-index from Apache, so we could browse the architecture of the website. It was fun, but since then it's closed, so it's not so funny. Are you lazy? IT people are lazy, right? So know that there are already tools to do that, to play with IDNs. You have got a tool called Evil URL. It's a Python script, if I remember well, that you can download. You type a domain name that you want to homograph, and we show you the list of all available homograph domain names, right? Evil Gynix, I think many people heard about it. It's a reverse proxy that will intercept all post data and get usernames, passwords, TOTP codes, etc., etc. So all in hand, right? But if you're like me and you want to do it yourself, you can as well, and I'll talk about it later. So let's talk about my experiences with IDN's homograph. I really think that this kind of attacks that also happened in the cryptocurrency world are going to boom in the next few years. So what I wanted is a domain name for my French training sessions, IT security training sessions, that talks to every French people in the training session. And yeah, people will recognize and will see the danger of this. So what did I do? In France, we have a website, a web domain, sorry. The domain name gouv.fr. It's the equivalent of the .gov of the United States, right? So it's gouv because it's gouvernement. So gouv, there is a U, yeah. So in December night, 2019, I was on the phone with a friend and we said, maybe we should try something with this. So we looked at the naming policy of the ethnic, of the .fr, and there was nothing about IDN's typo squatting or something. There was just something about, something interesting about restricted terms. There is some terms that you can't put a .fr with, right? Like République Française or French Republic, or like some people from Second World War, things like this. I don't want to say the H word. We don't know each other as well, so we'll see. But some terms you can't use. Extremism, racism, administration, you can't. But you can if you have goodwill and you have a legitimate interest to do so. So let's say I'm a what high-tech engineer, and my legitimate interest is trainings and demos in cybersecurity. So you can look at the top of the slide now, and you'll see the gouv.fr and gouv.fr, which are the two that I bought, right? And what's funny is that I kept them for 1.5 years before getting caught. So that was funny. So what I've done to not end up in jail, yeah, because jail are not cozy, right? I put a static HTML page explaining the attack and how to protect, how to detect. And why not do HTTPS with Let's Encrypt as well? Certificate transparency, is anybody watching this? I don't care, not in French government, at least at the time. So I got impo.gouv.fr. Impo is the French word for IRS taxes, right? Defense, I think you understand this, defense.gouv.fr. Interior is homeland security.gouv.fr, etc., etc. And so I got caught. The 31st of March 2021, about 1.5 years in, I was contacted by the French national authority called the ANSSI, the Agence Nationale de la Sécurité des Systèmes d'Information, via Twitter DMs, because I put my Twitter at the bottom of the static web page, and they asked me to destroy my two domain names. So yes, I complied because I don't want to be to have problems finding jobs afterwards. And they worked on changing the law for this not to be possible again, right? So good thing is I'm on archive.org, so I'm pretty proud, just like when you tag a wall or something. Yeah, it's funny.
Was when you did the trigger for changing the law?
No, they were talking about it before, and during the talk, they looked at gouv.fr, and I found out my stupid idea. So let's say I don't have gouv.fr at all now. So I wanted to do a demo, but I don't want to end up in jail. So let's say I will create a dumb website, and I will attack myself, right? Because why not? So maybe the next slide would be hard for people that had a hard time last evening, right? So the website is called bestrakia.com, right? So yes, this is my domain name, right? It was available, not for much, so it was funny. So I love Rakia, but not all Rakia, but Medovina. Right. So I created the world famous bestrakia.com, a standard ASCII domain, right, for the demonstration. It's a real eShop, but everything is out of stock, right? Don't try to buy anything on it. Everything is out of stock. And I also bought 2 IDN homograph attacks, and we are going to see together How does it look in browsers and emails? Because something we forget sometimes about is the emails. So I'll try to keep this alive after the talk for you maybe to try to demo this to people around you. So let's go to bestrakia.com, right? We want to drink. We want to order bestrakia.com. Looks like a real website. Ah, Medovina, yes. Out of stock, too bad. So this is in fact just a WordPress with WooCommerce standard installation, and I stole some Rakia pictures on other websites, but let's not talk about it. So yes, this is a real website, and I've created a menu for my demo, the menu.bestrakia.com. So you'll have the real website and the fake ones. So first fake. Can you see where the problem is? If you're smart, you will look at the Punycode part, because any letter missing in the Punycode is the letter I played with. Is the I, yes. And there is an accent on the I. And because there is a point on the J and a point on the I, it's kinda not visible. The second one is the worst one, and it's not working, so that's good news, right? The second one, can you see the problem? So the problem is with the B, yes. There is a small dent on the top left corner of the B. Yes, you can't see it a lot. You have to be very close to the screen to see it. I'm sorry, I don't know how to zoom on this. So let's see how it looks. So what did I done? What's happening when I click on this? It's the same website. Where's the problem? The problem is, let me go back to the slides now. The problem is, when you're using a legitimate connection, you're connected to HTTPS with TLS 1.2, so it's great, directly to bestrakia.com, the right website. But if you're using the IDN, one of the two IDNs, you will be connected to Apache reverse proxy, okay, that I configured myself. It's not an EvilGynX. I could have done this with EvilGynX, but I want to play sometimes. And there is a small surprise as well on this machine I'm going to show you later. And in fact, this reverse proxy is connecting to the real website. So because it's a TLS endpoint of two ends, it has everything in clear text at the middle. So if you go to the bad one, let's say you go to Firefox, this is the bad one, right? Let's say I want to log in into my account because, right, I want to buy some things. So let's, oh, it's blinking. Yeah, this is the demo will not be fun, right? Can I scroll down? Okay, and this is technical. Okay. Oh yeah, it's scrolling, but see you later. All right. What you can do, anyway, you can do it yourself. Go to menu.bestrakia.com. Try to log in from the fake website with bad credentials, bad username, bad password, and then go back to the menu and go to the pirates flag. And you'll see, normally you'll see logs, logins, and passwords printed in the PHP page. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you go on the fake one, you go to my account, you type anything you want in the login and password. Don't type real passwords, please. And then you go back to the menu and you see the pirate flag and you'll see maybe a surprise, right? So demo is, yeah, happens, demo things. All right, so how does it look in browsers? It looks fine. So this is zoomed out a lot, right? So yes, if you zoom a lot, you can see it. But from afar, with a big resolution screen, yeah, maybe not so much. And if your screen is dirty, you will not see it.
Yeah, mobile, it's quite visible actually.
Yeah.
Because you know what to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you know what to look for, so it's, you see it, but yeah. Also, what we've done with a friend is looking at how does it look in emails, these IDNs things. And we saw something about something done by a guy named /Crypto in 2019 about how does it look in mails. But we wanted to have a bigger table with three categories. So what are the three categories? You have the preview of the email, that is the email feed that you got in your email app. The reading email, that is when you double click on the email and you see the details. And the replying. So for each mail client that we had on end, we tried to see if you can see it's an IDN or not, depending on the client. So we've done RunCube, Sogo, Tutanota, Thunderbird, Outlook Desktop, Windows 10, Mail, Office 365, Proton Mail Web App, Skiff Webmail, Mailfence Webmail, Nextcloud Webmail, Gmail, Canine, Proton Mobile, Gmail App, Canary Android, Canary iOS, Apple Mail iOS, Apple Mail macOS, bam, and you got the results. So, from Webmaze, it's a problem. So when you have the check mark, it means you're protected. You can see it's an IDN, right? Sogo, I think it's because they don't understand IDNs. It's not coded inside the project. I have to look, but I don't think it's coded. And the worst one is Gmail. So let me try, I don't know if it will be readable, but let me try to show you Gmail. Gmail is a bit small. Gmail, because of the font of the website, you can't even see the accent on the I. It's a dot. Yeah, it's a feature, right? Yeah. So if there is anybody from Google here, I don't know, but fix your shit, please. So this is webmails, right? So webmails, there is one good, all right? What about desktop emails? Good news. Thunderbird users, you're protected. You'll see the beautiful Unicode domain name, and right beside it, the Punicode. So you'll see there is something not matching, right? Apple email on macOS is not good for previews. Windows 10 email, you know, the Windows 10 email app that you can install from the Microsoft Store or whatever, is not good for preview as well. And Outlook is the worst, right? The worst. And what's good is this is the most used in companies. So that's great. About email clients, on mobile, Apple email on iOS is kind of good because you don't see the beautifully encoded Unicode domain names, but you see the Punicode, only this. So it's good. On Android, Canine Mail is good, but there is a problem on Canine Mail. When you reply to an email, it shows +1. And you have to click on the +1 to see to who you're going to send the email. Yeah, it's dumb as fuck. I don't know why they've done this. And Gmail Android is bad as well because of the font. Gmail, bad, very bad, and very bad, either desktop and mobiles. Please don't use Gmail. Please, please don't use Gmail. So how can we protect ourselves from this thing? Yeah, too many memes maybe in my slides, but we can talk about this later. Firefox, Chrome, Safari, Internet Explorer, rest in peace, all have the same kind of protections. They have domain names that are protected and some character sets that are protected that will be always printed as Punicode. In France, the impôt.gouv.fr, which is the IRS tax thing, it's hard-coded in Google Chrome that this one should never be Punicoded. And if there is characters that look like, it will always print the Punicode and never the beautifully Unicoded, encoded one. So many of my clients, as you saw, don't care about Punicode as well, or does stupid things, Microsoft. The problem is, on the client side, is that you can use plugins on your browser, for example, that will try to protect you. But the problem is, people, we are okay with security and using plugins. And if I ask my mother to install a plugin of Firefox, she will ask, what's Firefox for the first thing? Because for her, the internet is Google. So it's hard. I love my mother, and she does many great things, but the IT is not his cup of tea. Mom, I love you. So you have some tools that helps you. Chrome, Avast has done a Chrome plugin that protects you. One of my friends, so sorry for the French text, yeah, right? But it's a caution fake website. Pirates try sometimes to imitate a website by modifying the URL for you not to notice. Yeah, that would be the translation. So it looks like a real Chrome error, yeah, from the browser. So it's really good. It's a clear message. You can continue anyway if you want. You know that people always click on continue anyway. Yeah, right? That's why we created HSTS as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. On Firefox, you can use Punycode domain detector. So this is kind of good plugin because it adds a really red big square at the end of the address bar, saying that be careful. And you have a pop-up that appears saying to you, be careful, this is an IDN. So maybe it's normal. Maybe you're visiting a website that is Japanese, and there's Japanese characters in the domain name. But if you see this and this is not expected, maybe you should be cautious. The same plugin on another browser is stupid. Same plugin, Chrome, and this time you don't have the pop-up. You have to click. So different behaviors depending on the browser. This is not good. So we got in touch with the developer of the plugin. He sent us he published on GitHub the code, the source code for his plugin. So maybe we can fix this. But with Chrome changing their API things and whatever's, yeah, thank you, Google, right? So same plugin, different behaviors, so you have to be careful. Good recommendation on Chrome, but be careful because this one is the best one, right? So this one is called Punifix. You can't miss the banner because look at the size of this banner, danger, perigo. Right? And the tab closes automatically after 10 seconds. You can't browse anything on it. You don't have time to put your passwords inside this. It's a bit hardcore, but it works. So, whatever. On the registry side, what can we do as TLD registry? ccTLDs should only accept correct alphabets for the country. Just like this one for Cyrillic alphabets from Russia, no more, just Cyrillic, no more, so it's good. .ifr is good as well, so there is only characters from the French and local languages, so it's okay. But anyway, we can always find diatrics and things to mix, so it's not the only answer. And the last part is yourself. You have a domain name, you have to do monitoring. Yeah, right, nobody likes monitoring, but we have to. So you have GitHub scripts. So we talked about evil URL before. You can add DNS twist and URL crazy, available on GitHub. You can also pay, if you're a big company, pay a private company to do this for you. So I'm not linked or affiliated with anyone, so I've listed free. NameShield, OVH, or Whois XML API. To watch and warn you, send you a warning when there is a domain name that has been registered that is close to yours. But everybody monitors, right? And the last thing that we can work on is laws and international cooperation. There are, in some countries like France, some national laws that prevents malicious IDNs. Because you may, in France at least, we have exceptions. Like parody, right to inform, etc. were acceptable. So we have the right to use dumb stupid shit to mock a company or something. So yes, so we should prevent malicious, but allow, yeah, it's hard, right? Malicious, it's a hard term to define depending on which person you ask the question. So we are all in this together. Europe may be about to lift GDPR privacy, redacted for privacy text on domain names. We hope so. Please do something because it's a pain in the ass right now. But it would be a great start for us to try to see who reserves what domain names. But we have to gather together. We have to talk about this problem because I have a bet with you for a few years. So, well, yeah, it's nearly the end now. So please spread the word about this around you. The slides are available right now. I will show the URL. As CC by SA Creative Commons license, so you can do whatever you want with it. Spread the words around you to warn people about these technique protections via browser plugins for now. I bet not every one of you, but I bet a rakia bottle shared with everyone here that in no more than 5 years, these kind of attacks will be more prevalent than they are today, right? Because we ask people to look correctly at the domain name, but they will maybe not understand that O and O with an accent is not the same domain, not at all. So yes, we have still a lot of word spreading to do about this. So special thanks to BalCCon2k team. You're the best. You're the best. I love you. Thanks to Fred Crypto and the Jusk guy there for the bad and good advices when I was contacted by French authorities, for example. Thank you very much. And thank you for listening to me. If you have any questions, that's now. And we'll see you at the bar if you have another question, because I have a subscription there, right? Thank you.
Thank you. You touched on this very briefly at the end. We've had IDNs for a long time, and we could have done this sort of attack before. Why now will it happen more than before?
Because it's the way we as I see in France, maybe it's not the same in other countries, right? The awareness raising about IT security and phishing and things like this. From what we saw in France, 10 years ago, we said to people, you have to look at the padlock. Is the padlock here? HTTPS, is it here? Is it not here? Then we talked about now, people, we are saying to them, you have to get a look at the domain name. You have to look the domain name and read correctly the domain name to see if it's real accounts.google.com or if it's something else. So I think it's coming now. It will be coming in the next years, because for now, people are not sufficiently looking at this website they clicked on a phishing email, for example. They don't look. If it's the right page, if it's the page is right, it's what they expect, they will not try to look at the address bar right now. So the more and more we raise awareness about this, the more people will watch the address bar. But it doesn't mean that they will understand that an accent or a dot or something will be a different domain than the one they are currently using. So I think that's why we are starting to see more and more IDN attacks, homographic attacks right now, and we'll be seeing soon in the future. I think. It's a bet. As I told you, it's a bet, but we'll see. See you in 5 years. Is there any other question?
Yeah, so I was on mute. All right. Do you know if with DMARC you can avoid homographic attacks?
No. No, you can't. DMARC only applies on the domain name that you have and not the ones that you have not. So, no.
Yeah.
And in fact, it would be kind of a problem, because maybe you have, maybe somebody that is doing an homograph attack is not really attacking you, but in fact is reserving a domain name that he has the right to own. And it will be, I think, if we could have this kind of things with DMARC or SPF or what is the third one? DKIM. Yeah. If we had this kind of protections, the problem would be the same as DNS blacklists from email servers. You see what I mean? That you have to unblacklist yourself from many, many things, because people are like cowboys shooting every IP ranges that just look strange. So I think it would be a problem doing this way. I think the best way to protect yourself is to monitor. That's the thing. And it's easy to do. You just have to launch the script. Launch the script today, compare the results. If there is any mismatch in the results of the script, you send an email. There is a problem. So it's easy to do. So that will be my answer.
How do you protect against such attacks when the legitimate domain is already in Punycode?
That's a good idea, but many tools like Evil URL, for example, already implements my original domain, the one that I want to homograph attack, is already a Punycode. So you can have in the same language letters that can look the same. So if you're monitoring with, for example, Evil URL, it will protect you as well, because it understands the Punycode and try to find similar domain names using the same thing. So you can protect yourself with monitoring again.
I mean, if you show the puny code, they'll both look like gibberish. Like if you show the legitimate puny
Yeah.
code and the other puny code.
Yeah.
So it seemed like less obvious to me than.
In fact, you just have to understand they are the same. It's the same thing. Encoded differently, but it's the same thing. So every URL understand, if I remember well, both the beautifully Unicoded domain name and the puny-coded, because they're the same, in fact. Your browser is only doing a trick on you, encoding correctly in Unicode the domain name. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Is that okay? No questions?
Small follow-up.
Yeah, small.
Please use mic.
No, just a follow-up to that. So,
Yeah.
for example, the word aeroport, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you had it in your example. So that has an upward sloping, what is it, accent aigu or whatever. And then what if you put a downward sloping accent on that? It seems to me to be more important to avoid those kinds of names.
Yes, but it's a problem for some countries, like, let's say, for example, Japanese people. They don't use Latin alphabet, and it doesn't make any sense for them. So yes, they have the Roman G, which is the way of talking.
No, I get that. I'm saying comparing gibberish to gibberish, you know that you have to be careful. But
Yes.
comparing that, aeroport, and then at the
Yeah.
end you have just 3 letters, and then they could be just a tiny difference there, and it would completely change the meaning of the word because it would just change the accent. And then a person looks at that accent and thinks, okay, it's just a line. I was expecting a line.
Yeah.
My point is, if I were to put a website up like that, I would think twice about putting anything that has to be accented.
Yes, but the problem is with diacritics is that you can accent so many characters that it might be hard for you to just find the domain names without any combining diacritic characters possible.
No, just avoid accentation completely.
Yeah, avoid accentation, but again, in French, for example, we have words, and some words, it's written with accents. You don't have any choice. With énergie, for example, the energy, French word, has an accent, and it's written like this. So if you want énergie or not énergie, you have to put an accent because it's not the same thing. And we have some words with accents are not the same that we.
No, I mean, I'm Serbian, right? So
So
my
you know-
name's
you
in
know
each.
this, right?
So,
You know this,
but
right?
I'm still not going to register each.rs. I'm
Yes,
going to do ic.rs.
Yes, but the problem is, even though you will not use accents at all, it doesn't prevent people to try to reserve domain names with
Oh no,
accents
I'm saying just
to
for
attack.
best practices.
Yeah.
That might be the case.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Then you have to watch as well.
I get
Just
it.
for
I
you
get
to
it.
be sure that nobody is homographic attacking you.
I got it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I've been away for a while, but I asked, and you didn't mention YubiKeys, right? Or U2F
No,
in general?
no,
Yeah,
I
so
didn't. We can talk a bit about it.
Yeah.
In fact, this kind of attacks, like with the Evilginix or the Apache reverse proxy thing, we will be able to catch any TOTP codes that say Google Authenticator and things like this, any email or a text message code, etc. The only way to protect yourself from this kind of attacks is using FIDO keys. Yes, you know FIDO keys? The small keys that you plug on your computer. It does cryptographic things with the browser, real domain name, and generate keys and sign things to authenticate yourself to a website. Because it's the browser that decides which domain the key is using, the browser cannot lie. It can lie to you visually, but it cannot lie to the key. So the domain name will not be bestarakia.com. It will be xn-bestarakia.com yeah, you see what I mean? So it will not be the same domain, and you will not be able to catch it. Yeah. So the one way also to protect yourself is using FIDO keys, FIDO2 keys. Yeah, you're right.
So there is a kind of attack without using IDNs, and I experienced it myself. Not that I got caught in it, but I saw it. For steamcommunity.com, they used RN instead of M, so it looks really similar.
Yeah.
And if you don't look close enough, you won't notice it.
Yeah. The goal is the same. The goal of homographic attack, here I'm talking about IDNs, so yeah, but it's the same. It's looking just a bit the same that it can, some people can be fooled by this, yes. Steam community attack is just like the PayPay or Assurance Mayadi that we saw in the slides before, so yes, it's a big problem right now.
So are registers taking any action? Like, is it specifically harder to register the Unicode domain name, even for an existing one? Do they compare, did I already register for the actual airport and now I'm registering for airport with an E accented?
They don't care. First come, first served. And in fact, it was funny. For the gouv.fr, I can tell you a story for the gouv.fr. When I reserved it with a French registrar called Gandhi, I received an email, just by the time I bought it, saying that domain names are frozen. My God, they got me. No, they were just asking for my ID card, because you have to be a European citizen to reserve a domain name with .fr. And I waited maybe 1 week, and after 1 week, it's okay, your domain names are good. Nobody cares. That's the answer. All right, thank you very much, everybody. See you at the bar.